Hello. So this video is going to be about a game mode in Hearthstone called Dungeon Run. Dungeon Run is one of my favorite game modes in Hearthstone. It's been years since it was released, but I still find myself coming back to it and just playing it over and over. It's really, really fun, so I'm glad to be able to introduce it to you. So we'll go solo adventures, Dungeon Run. So for those who have played like a rogue, I never remember, is it rogue light or rogue like? Games where you take something and you expand and iterate upon it until it gets better and better. That's basically what Dungeon Run is. So it's similar to the last video, the Book of Mercenaries, where you're playing against 8 bosses, but the difference is you get to build your deck on the fly. Every boss you beat gives you a chance to add more cards to your deck or treasures to help you fight the other bosses. So it's always changing in that way. It's always different every time, which is why I really enjoy playing it. Adventures wanted. Like any dungeon, your first enemy is going to be something really easy. Some rats. This one's a wee whelp. Just a baby dragon, but it's still a dragon. Ah, there we go. I've actually not even beaten it with all the different classes yet in Hearthstone, and the one you see a crown on is one I've beaten it with, and those I haven't. So yeah, we'll dive into it. We'll pick Druid this time. As you can see, you didn't have to pick a deck or build a deck or do anything. It just rolls you in the game. It starts you with like a 10 or a 15 card deck every time. Some base cards to build with, and then you just add to the deck. So
versus a wee whelp.
A wee whelp.
The forest fights back.
Ooh, feeding time?
I wonder if we can go lower in this mana curve. But 2/3 drops, it's fine. It's a computer. It's the first level. You're not too concerned. You will get concerned, but not yet. Those bosses get really unfair. So turn 1, we just have 1 drop. We'll play it, end the turn. Note our HP. 10 HP, 15 HP. It's a very, very mini game of Hearthstone. So 2 mana, I can either hero power kill it, or I can drop a 3/2 creature. I'm just gonna drop 3/2, and we're just gonna, it's the first round. First round is almost always a gimme. However, embarrassingly, you can lose to the first boss in Dungeon Run, and man, nothing makes you feel more irritated than that. So a good check in general in Hearthstone to do is always, can I win this turn? So many times you actually have lethal in hand, or you have lethal on board. You can win the game on the spot, you just have to look for it. So many times you pass the turn and realize, oh, I could have won. And either it takes you longer to win, or you end up losing the game. And so can I win this turn? I don't think so. I have this 4-drop creature that says deal 2 damage. I have 3 on board, so that's only 5. I can't win this turn, but next turn I can.
I must safeguard the land.
Moonfire. In case you haven't noticed, all this guy's cards have been kind of dinosaur and dragon themed, so it's kind of cute that way. Like bosses will have decks limited by their theme. So let's just clean this up here. Thank you. Thank you. I deserve this. So, after you beat the first boss, you're allowed a treasure to add to your deck. This is a permanent addition, and it's just always active. Or it's a card that you can draw. So, hey, all your minions have +1/+1, or maybe you do more spell damage with everything, or your minions have permanent stealth. They can't be attacked unless you attack with them first. It's actually interesting. So once you get to add cards and treasures to your deck, it kind of builds the direction your deck goes, and you want to start getting more cards to support that. So here, for example, this one gives you more spell damage. So maybe in the future I start taking more cards that build on spells, versus if I take this card that really focuses on minions, all my minions have +1/+1, I'll end up going like a very minion-centric deck. Cloak of Invisibility, I won't go into it, but it's actually bad. It's a deceptive card because you think all your minions having stealth is good until that means all your opponent's minions are just slamming your face, and you usually can't recover from that. So I actually don't recommend this one. I'll go with stronger minions. They're still the bread and butter of the deck, and having stronger minions is always great. Here you go. Here's your loot. You can pick 3 different cards to add to your deck. So this one is all about taunt cards. You get a bunch of things that have the taunt keyword, so you can build your deck that direction. This one's called Balance, and it looks like it's just like a decent mid-range set of cards. Swipe's always good. Starfire is pretty solid, and Stomp, which is just big minions. I can give you this Primordial Drake again, and Ragnaros the Fire Lord. So for me personally, it's between these two cards, these two sets. Having a bunch of strong cards in Ragnaros is very tempting, but I am going to go with the Balance in the middle. Swipe is a great spell to have. Starfire kills something and draws you a card, which is great. Poison Seeds. Destroy all minions and summon a bunch of treants to replace them. That's incredibly powerful. If my opponent has a really strong board, just a bunch of huge minions I can't deal with, destroying everything, and even if it's a bunch of weaker treants, is still solid. So I'm going to go for this round. If you play this yourself, you might take a different set of cards, and that's what makes this so fun and interesting. Second boss. Frostfur. These Fulbolg warrens feel unnaturally cold. So I'm not going to do all 8 bosses. I'll probably just stop at 3 or 4, just to give you the idea of the game. They get hard. That's the big thing. That's what makes it exciting and interesting too. It's that they get hard, so you lose, and you're like, I'm gonna go again.
Oh, what have we here?
Yeah. Notice that we're still at a pretty early health level. It's not even the full 30 in Hearthstone. What's his ability? Freeze a minion. Yeah, I don't care about that. Add a random minion with 5 or more attack to your hand. Why not?
My favorite. Stay there a moment.
That's cool. Looking at this, you kind of think like, why can't you have beaten this with all the bosses yet? This is incredibly easy, and the answer is they do get hard. The answer is you fight one and they've got 60 health, you've got 45, and they just have a bunch of really broken spells, and it's your challenge to get through. So again, at this stage, you want to check: do you have lethal? Can you win without? It's very tempting to drop, oh, I'm going to drop this minion, I'm going to hero power, I'm going to do all this stuff. But sometimes you can win the game right here. Swipe is a spell that says do 4 damage to an enemy and 1 damage to everything else. I've got 6 attack on board, plus 4 is 10. We can win right here. Easy game, easy life. Swipe did something weird. A little bit more. Another round of loot. What do I want to add? This one is Wise Decision, so all the cards here will give you a choice between what you want to do. Do you want to add attack or health? You choose one cards and powers of both effects combined. Powerful. Nourish. What's it? Balance, which is just more wipe spells. So you got Wrath, 2 swipes. Interesting, but I think I'm good for now. I don't really need that. Cult of Cthulhu. So Cthulhu is a card that it's one of the old gods, of course. Deal damage equal to this minion's attack, randomly split among all enemies. So the focus of a Cthulhu deck is to make Cthulhu bigger and bigger and bigger. So when you draw him, he just does like 40 damage and wipes your opponent's board and face. And all of the Cthulhu cards care about adding to Cthulhu to make it stronger. Give it +2/+2. When this takes damage, give it +1/+1. It's very tempting. It's very tempting indeed. Maybe another run I'll take a Cthulhu run. I've never done that before. And I won't again this time. So I'm going to take this one on the left, getting a nice 2, 4, 6 to throw into the curve of my deck is pretty solid. And these are all really good cards, so. This Trog Commander is extra motivational to his underlings. Is it the Fire Lash? I can't tell. Non-classes all have different loot options to tackle the dungeon. You'll get different cards per class, obviously.
The forest fights back.
Time for pain.
Cool. I'll keep the 3-drop. I like him. Shade of Nexramus. He grows every turn, so if you drop him early, you can get to a pretty big creature. Oh, perfect. You drew Enchanted Raven. Doing great. Great, great curve. Is that an Alliance flag? I can't tell. I don't know enough about Hearthstone. Or World of Warcraft. Yeah, did you hear they made an MMO off of the Hearthstone game? It's wild. I guess a lot of people are playing it.
This will be good.
Deal 1 damage to a friendly minion and give it +2 attack. Ew. I don't want to see that.
Nature's blessings upon you.
No speaks mortal. Only speak web.
Yeah, each character's got little voice lines. They say the same thing over and over, but
I appreciate
No speaks mortal. Only speak web.
you know what I'm going to do right here. Keep of the Grove. Choose one, you can deal 2 damage to a minion, or silence it. Silence it removes all of its power-ups, removes its own effects. Silence is an incredibly powerful effect. Now it's nothing. We can't summon something when it dies, it lost all its power-ups. And start swinging now. Next turn, 4, 7, 11, we can win the game, assuming neither of these die. And it looks like they won't.
Get moving.
Easy game, easy life. What treasure shall we pick this time? Boots of Haste. Your minions cost 0 this turn. Wax Rager. When this dies, resummon it. Or Embers of Ragnaros. Shoot 3 fireballs at random enemies that deal 8 damage each. Interesting. Me personally, I think I would pick the Wax Rager or the Embers of Ragnaros. This could be good. The random enemies kind of concerns me a bit. If there's a powerful minion you want to shoot, the random is really, you might miss something else. If the opponent has a board clear, this deals 8 damage. There's just 3 fireballs of 8 damage to the opponent's face. So that's 24 damage. Really powerful. Or you want a solid minion that can always stay alive and just shove 5 damage in. Man. I feel like when I play Druid, it's always very mid-range, very like, well, I'll choose the perfect fit for this deck, the perfect thing to round things out. So let's get dangerous. Let's pick the Ragnaros. Yeah. Choose your loot. Do you want more decision-making cards? Ancient of War. Do you want cards that have taunt? The Death Knight Malfurion. Death Knight Druid. I am really tempted to take this one. Jungle Giants. Cards that care about 5 or more attack. You know what? I think I'm going to go for the middle here. The taunt, whatever. This is a very strong spell, but Death Knight cards are so strong. This completely changes your hero power. Now you can pick +3 attack or +3 armor, and you summon minions the turn you play it. It's a very, very powerful card. I hope I can show it in the next round. When the Death Knight classes were running around in Hearthstone, it was very powerful. It was very dynamic.
Lunara versus Warp Whisker.
Warp Whisker.
The forest fights back.
Give back candle.
So I'm gonna keep this in hand. I hope I can get long enough to play it because I really want to show off the Death Knight Druid and what Death Knight cards do. Oof. This means we're not going to play anything until turn 4. Oh, there we go. We draw a 2-drop. Choose 1, +1 attack, +1 health. What's this ability? Both players recruit the minion. Let's give it health. So tell me the difference between 1 attack or 2 attacks. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So every turn we'll both be drawing minions from a deck to put on the field. He's going to have much stronger ones than me, so that you have to win outvaluing him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this Embers of Ragnaros to when he has like a big board of minions I can't keep up with to turn the tide. For now, I'm just going to destroy this. Get it out of here. I don't want to deal with that. Gosh. A 7/14? Are you kidding me? Hey, poison seeds. This is where that's going to come in handy. Here, for instance, well, no, I can't kill this. I was going to say if you can risk, see if you can win this turn. He has 24 health. You could hypothetically hit all 3 fireballs at him. See, if we did just 2 fireballs, that's 16 damage. That's 26. Right? This is 10 plus 16. It's 26. Do we go big? Do we try and risk it? If the fireballs hit this, if 2 of them hit this, then we can't win. If just 1 hits this, then we can win the game. If all 3 hit it, then we win. I say we go big. I want to show this card off, but I say we go big. Let's see what's up. Man, I ain't even worried. Ain't even worried. Arachnos card's pretty good. Pretty good. Balance. Blood Mage Thanos. Azure Drake, Starfall. Raven Idol, Fate Spitter, Ancient of War. Feral Rage, Ironwood Golem, Oaken Summons. Interesting. This one has some interesting choices. I'm not really sure which one to pick here. I guess I'll take the natural defense. That seems like a good one. I think any choice is really valid there. Fungalmancer Flurgle. Ooh, he's a Murloc that uses mushrooms. Let's see how this goes. You will never assemble the legendary sword of Keldalar. Nope. I don't know what it is in WoW, but in Hearthstone there are 3 cards you can collect over the course of a dungeon run. They can put together the sword.
Fungalmancer Flurgle.
The forest fights back.
Gross. We'll keep this. I forgot to check what his hero power is, so I want the ability to destroy a minion whenever. So Druid in Hearthstone is not is not balanced to take out to kill creatures very well. So even this spell, destroy minion, 3 mana destroy anything, is very strong. But there's a downside to it. Add a random minion to your opponent's hand. So you have to decide what minion do I want to kill and risk giving them something better. Oh no. Murlocs. Oh no. Give your minions +1/+1. Oh. So you can see how here the Embers of Ragnaros actually become a bad card, because now there's a bunch of minions and a bunch of weak targets. So your 3 fireballs don't have a chance to hit. Oh gosh. I think I ram my face into this one now, and then next turn kill it. If I drop this minion, all these get... Oh, I miscalculated. It's going to get +1/+1. So now I actually can't kill with one. Ugh. It's fine. Swipe. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna mulch this now because I can't deal with it, and that's a problem. Do we Ragnaros here? No, I think we need this later when it becomes harder to come back from this. That can snowball out of control. Oh, Chris. Malfurion. Can I last long enough to get you? It's tempting to fireball this now. Although if I save this for turn 5, I can do this and this. Okay, this has taunt. This actually is my play here. I'm going to drop this to protect myself. It can't attack until I have 3 or more armor, but just using it to hold the line is good enough for me. Oh gosh. Okay. I think we use this now. We use the Embers of Ragnaros, be able to clear some stuff out. What do we do turn 6? Mana crystals, draw cards. We need to get armor. That's what we need to do. Okay, we do the Embers of Ragnaros. That, I really wanted to wipe his creatures.
Beetleberries, my favorite.
Yeah, but can we last turn 8? It's not looking very promising. He seems to be stuck. He seems like he's not attacking. He could attack with this and... Okay. And is he gonna... Okay. This is what I'm talking about. Like, suddenly in a dungeon run, you can just lose. You just lose this turn. Unless you can think of a way to bring this back. So should I drop a taunt minion and then kill this Does that keep me alive? I don't know. I don't think so. Could I swipe? If I swipe, I can remove 2 things. And then leave 1 thing alive. If I swipe, kill this, this runs into that, and then he's just left with a 5/5 on board. He gives it increased attack that puts it at 6, so it just needs 2 damage to kill me off, but I can swipe and also hero power to give me 1 more armor, so I just said a lot of words at once. I'm talking out loud. Another good bonus of Dungeon Run, the single player, there's no time limit, unlike in competitive laddering, so you can take as long as you want to decide a turn. Oftentimes you can decide how quickly you want to lose, but okay, so we're going to swipe this. We're going to run into, we want to take the stronger minion off the board. Oh, I couldn't kill it. I was supposed to kill that one. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
This'll be good.
Man, and next turn I was gonna play the death. Ah, my gosh.
This'll be good.
I just lose. I just lose to on board. Man, that was a good run. Really felt good about that one. Oh, there you have it. That's Dungeon Run, and I could play the same run again with Druid. I could pick another class. Each game I play with Druid could be different. I could pick different cards. What a pity. Okay, I get it. Jeez. Yeah, so that's Dungeon Run. I hope you enjoyed it. It's free in Hearthstone. I definitely recommend that you go and play it under solo adventures. It's just something you can play for fun, low pressure. It's really, really fun. So hope you like it. Cool, and thanks for watching.